Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Journey TV. We're your hosts. I'm Thomas Knights Templar.
And Mary Silvernail.
And
Welcome to our show.
There you
So
go.
happy that you're joining us and watching this show tonight that we're filming. And we have some wonderful guests. Our first guest is
Christine Schiavone. My show is Spiritual Exploration, and I'm on at 10:30 on Friday night on Channel 79 Spectrum 35 Verizon. And I'm very happy to be here with my friends.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you again, Christine.
Thank you.
that's right. And over here, this young man is.
I am psychic medium Chris George. I'm a psychic medium, obviously. I'm a teacher. I do healings. And I come on their show all the time.
There you go. He's a regular.
And
And I just did your show today.
you just did my show too.
Two shows in one day.
Our shows
Yeah.
should be back to back because yours comes on at 9:30 on the same
That's
channel.
right.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Right.
That they're going to see me in the same shirt 2 shows in a
Well,
row.
me too.
Oh, that's
wasn't
okay.
expecting
Bring
this,
another
but
shirt.
That's okay. Back to
You can
back.
take the shirt off. The ratings are going to
Nobody
plummet.
wants to see that.
You know.
Nobody wants to see that.
That's okay.
know.
This is going to be an interesting show tonight, isn't
sure
it,
is.
Tommy?
It sure
Boy,
is.
oh boy, oh boy.
But before we get started, I want to
Yeah.
segue into this here. Wait.
Oh, you're very interested in the spring equinox coming
Yes,
up,
I am.
aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It holds a lot of.
yeah, we can't wait for spring. It's been so damn cold.
There you have it. This way, tomorrow we'll be in the 40s, and Sunday too.
Let's
Well,
hope.
it's going to get into the 50s next week.
I
I'm
heard
very
that.
happy
Right
about
before
it.
the
I'm
month.
going to the
happy about
beach.
that, too.
Going to the beach. But go ahead, because you're very interested in the, in the equinox coming up.
The equinox for me, the spring coming up, to me is renewal. Renewal should be New Year's. This New Year's coming up on the equinox, because that's when everything blooms again, everything turns green again. It should be the start of the new year.
Right,
All right. Period.
right.
Why they pick January 1st and made January the first month of the year? I don't know.
Oh, we can go back.
Did you
and
know
ask
that
them.
once
Yeah.
upon a time that we actually did have 13 months?
Oh, yes,
That's how
absolutely. Because there's
February got so
13
screwed up.
moons. There's 13
That's
moons.
right. We had 13 months.
Yeah,
All right.
Well,
absolutely.
when there's 2 moons in 1 month, that's a
Blue moon.
blue moon.
When there's 2 full moons in 1 month, it's a
Right.
blue moon.
Sometimes
when
at the
there's
beginning
2,
and the end of the
yeah.
month.
But when there's two new moons in 1 month,
It's a daily
then it's actually called a black moon.
Really? I never
Yes.
heard that.
Yeah. So there's the blue moon, the full moons, and then there's the black moons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Now,
wonder why they call them black.
Well, because a new
they dark
moon you
screen?
can't see.
It's dark
The
screen.
sky is black because it's blocked
Oh,
and
I
you
see.
can't see it.
All right,
so
that
they call
makes
it the
sense.
black moon. Nothing bad or
No,
anything.
no,
Very
no.
powerful time for new beginnings,
Ah.
Even more powerful. A black new moon is even more powerful than just a new moon. But, Tommy, I just want to say this because I agree with you 100%. Because, as an astrologer, the zodiac really starts with Aries, and
Exactly,
Aries starts with the spring equinox, right?
Yeah.
So,
Which would
but
be March
I
21st?
have
Yes.
never in my life liked New Year's, ever. To me, it is not a holiday because
Yeah,
it
you
doesn't
said that.
signify anything.
Well, by the time you get to New Year's, everybody's sick and tired of the holidays.
No, that's I want to hear people's they're making them
Resolutions?
yeah, they're making
I don't
resolutions.
even bother.
Nobody ever keeps a resolution anyway.
Listen,
That's why I don't even bother.
Oh, I'm going to lose weight this year. That's good. The other 4,000 pounds that you kept on all
Right,
year, that's
right.
okay.
And then all of a sudden, right? Oh my goodness, you should have seen the gym. Oh my goodness. New Year's Day, I went, and right after that, and then now, you go and now it's just back to normal again. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, oh my goodness,
Everybody's gung-ho.
I couldn't go on a machine
And
that,
people over there
you know.
jumping on the machines, working out. It's like, ooh, Twinkies.
But let me just, I have a couple of notes here. Okay, so actually it's March 20th. It's not March 21st.
Oh, really?
Okay, so this year it's March 20th.
And
okay?
that's the start of a new.
It's a spring
a
equinox.
new.
It's the spring.
Yeah, it's the start of a new. Astrological.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because that's Aries. That's when Aries begins. But anyway, so what that is, it really, the equinox is a perfect balance between light and dark. Perfect balance. And it's a powerful time to reflect on your own inner harmony and align your spiritual intentions. And especially what you and I had been talking about, and then we were talking with Chris too, and this
Chris
other
and Chris.
Chris and Chris, earlier before the
that?
show about how all the energies have shifted so much. But it's really nice at the spring equinox to perform some kind of a balance ritual or prayer. I mean, even just lighting a candle and just focusing on harmony and balance in your body. You know?
You know what I like to do?
What? Tell me.
I like to, out with the old, in with the new. I like to get bay leaf and write what I want to release.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And
On the bay leaf?
On the bay leaf.
And then burn it, right?
That's right.
And then I burn it.
Burn
and
it.
then I take another bay leaf and I write down what I want to attract for the year on the bay leaf, and I burn it. It's just a little ritual I've done for many, many years.
And it's
does it
perfect
work?
to do
Yeah.
it at that
Absolutely.
time.
I do this with my class all the time. Yeah, you know, we do stuff. It's a very shamanic type of thing. All right, so
Yes, it is.
and it's powerful because it's something you want to release and something you want to attract.
When I do prayer bundles, they're shamanic Native American prayer bundles. When someone would like to change something in their life, one of the main ingredients that is put into that prayer bundle that then the person takes home and they burn it, actually, if they have an open fire pit or something like that. But anyway, is the bay leaf. The bay leaf, I love it that you brought that up. Very,
Bay
very
leaf is
powerful.
Yeah, I remember that.
I know we're not talking about spells or anything like that, but
No,
in
we aren't
spells,
talking about spells.
Bay leaf is used to attract and to release, and and the equinox is. It's a wonderful thing, and I've been doing
Perfect
it for
time.
years. It's a perfect time also.
I
I've
love what
always
you
used
just
it in,
said. Thank you.
Beef stew.
Full moons, you know, a lot of times people will do it on the full moon. You know, something that you want to release, and then the second one is for something you want to attract.
See, that there, what I do is I go down to my beach, and I do the same process, only thing, I'll write people's problems and their sicknesses on a piece of paper,
You could definitely do
shove it in the rocks, and then the high tide comes in, takes it, message out to the Blessed Mother, out there in the ocean, it gets.
Yeah,
that's
I've
it.
done that as well. Not that, but what I've done is we've had like circles at my house,
And they burn them.
and we write down everything we want to release, and then we put it in the fire. And again, you put everything that you want to attract, and you put it in the fire. It's very shamanic, and it's very powerful. Anything done with smoke is usually very powerful. That's why, like, the spirits love smoke. You know, when I smoke a cigar, I feel like I get a little bit more psychic, believe it or not. I don't do it with my friends when I'm, you know, having a cigar with my friends, but when I'm by myself and I'm in my yard and I'm having a cigar, I open up like in ways like you can't even imagine, because the spirits love the scent.
Plus, they
Probably the
love
spirit of
fire.
Fidel
And they love
Castro.
fire.
They love fire, and
Yes.
your cigar,
Yes.
yeah, because you light the fire.
Light the
right.
fire.
So, you know, too, like, even if you don't have bay leaves, you don't have a fire pit, all you have to do is take even a little toothpick, and whatever it is that either you want to release or you want to bring into your life, you just say that prayer and be in gratitude, and then blow it right into the little toothpick.
Always be
And
grateful.
put it in the candle. Just
Always-
put it in a
yeah.
candle to burn, and it works. So you
Al-
don't have to
always
go.
be
with the
grateful.
I
whole
do it. I
big-
do it as a candle magic ritual. What I'll do is I'll have two candles, two pillar candles, and one of them I will inscribe on it release, and one of them I will inscribe on it attract. And everyone in the class comes and we use that. You know, it's just another little way to do it. You can find inventive ways to do things. Make
Yeah.
it your own.
Make it your own. I
So I'm
love
taking
it.
my
And I guess
tangerine
spirit will
peels and
accept
I'm writing
that.
my stuff on them and I'm
Absolutely.
burning
You
them.
could do that.
It's the
I killed two birds with one
intention.
stone.
Yeah, that's right. It's all in the
It's
intention.
all in the intention.
Always in the
That's the
intention.
key word, your intention.
Your intention.
Yes.
Yes.
When you have an intention to do something, that intention should, number one, if it benefits you, it should benefit everyone. Okay? It should not harm anybody.
Should always be
Okay.
positive.
All right, always that. Well, it's true. All right, and at that point, when you are going to do one of these, if you want to do a shamanic ritual, or if you want to come up with something that, like Chris was saying, out with the old and in with the new, clean your wardrobe, get rid of the old stuff, take the new stuff, put it in, get rid of what holds you back.
That's right.
Because all of that old stuff holds
Yeah, it
energy.
holds negative energy.
That
Right.
can
Not negative,
hold you
but just
back.
old
It's
energy.
interesting
No,
you're
old
saying
energy.
that. I just did Christine's show when we were talking about energetic imprints, which is energy that's left behind by
That's right.
someone or something. And at some point, you got to get rid of that energy. Otherwise, it just
Right, you gotta
it
do a
builds.
cleansing.
It builds up and it affects you.
It
Yes,
feeds off
that's
of you.
right.
That's right,
Everything is energy.
completely.
It is.
Everything is energy.
Well, what do you do when there is a lot of negativity around you? People that want to take advantage of you,
You do
steal
psych-
from
psychic
you.
protection.
Just
teach
keep
it
doing
in the
like you
classes.
explained with the gold
Psychic
light.
protection is it's so important. People don't realize it, because people could send negative energy to you, negative thoughts,
Not even
negative,
thinking it.
That's
negative
true,
thinking,
yeah.
just negative.
Yes.
And you have to protect yourself. And
That's right.
Again, it's something that I've taught in class for years. I mean, we have one of my students is here. She's one of the best students in the class, and I've taught it to her, and I'm sure she does it every day. It just helps keep the negativity away. Is it going to fix things?
So
It'll
she's-
help. It helps. I
So she-
mean.
yeah. So
It does.
she's the teacher's pet?
She, I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I don't think I have a teacher's pet, type of thing. But
Yeah.
she's one of the very, very good students. I can say that.
Yes, she is.
And I'm gonna go on record to say the last 3 classes she's been the star student.
There you go.
I don't want it to go to her head though, because she gets her head gets this big, and then I got to deal with her, and I don't want to.
Yeah, you turn it sideways to get her out the door.
Oh, so anyway, yeah, but this is a really good time to find balance, and it's really important that we were talking about this right now because of the fact of the energy shifts that are happening in the world right now. Everybody can feel it. Anybody you talk to, you can feel these shifts of energy going on.
A lot
Tremendous.
of negative ones.
Well, and positive too.
There's
Yeah.
both going, but I find that.
But it's like
lately, people
rapid.
have been overly dramatic about things. I mean, like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think it's that negative energy. I always say that there seems to be more negative in the world than positive, and that's why the people who are the positive ones have to work harder at it because there's so much negative out there. It's not easy.
I believe it.
The problem is this. We have in this tremendous have it in your face right now era that we live in, okay? The TV is one thing. The computers are another thing. I was watching something about the CIA with the computer screens and stuff like that, that the computer screens are a certain color, and that's so they can wind up using that and the energy that comes off the screen to control you. It's supposed to be a red screen,
Right, but it's blue, right?
but it's blue.
That's right.
Okay?
I've
That's
heard that as well.
All right, so there's one thing there. Plus the TV, Mary and I are both hypnotists, plus the TV is nothing but a giant hypnosis center. Mary had given me a book in the very
Well,
beginning.
there's subliminal stuff
Yeah.
in everything.
No, well, this was
In
even
everything.
better. This guy was
yeah.
in the early stages of TV. Where the TV was like about that big and the screen was about 10 inches.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
my grandfather
And
had
that, I have one of those myself. And
a little
I think it was, I'm not sure, but I think it was the Jack Paw show. There was, had like a few people guest on, and one guy was a stage hypnotist.
Yeah.
And he was doing that, and he was realizing that he's reaching maybe at that time the whole country, 50,000 people, 100,000 people, whatever, okay? Using the forum of hypnosis, it would be so easy to put them all under and wind up sending them subliminal messages. Look at the commercials you have on TV today. And I don't mean the ones that make you giggle. I mean the ones that come out. Every other commercial is for some kind of new pharmaceutical.
Yes.
Okay, everyone.
A lot of them,
Because
you're
this
correct.
could help with this could help with that. But when you listen to the whole thing,
mean
then you
today?
hear somebody go, it sounds like a fly, all right? And it says, could kill you.
Right.
Oh, how about this one? You know, if you're allergic to it, how do you know you're allergic unless you take it?
That's right.
That's right.
Or that it could kill you. Literally. It says it.
Yeah,
No,
I tell you,
really.
could
That
cause
it
this.
could cause
It does
death.
say it.
They say that because somebody apparently died from whatever it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Listen.
But
Well,
you
there's
know what you
subliminal
were.
messages everywhere. Like when you go to a movie, they'll be, you don't even realize it. I watched a documentary on this, and they'll say, eat more popcorn, drink
Yeah,
more
yeah,
Coke while you're watching the
They have the little
you
guy
know,
going on, with the popcorn and
Right,
everything.
and you don't
watching-
even realize it. Next thing you know, you're getting up and buying popcorn.
Well, they actually
It's
have a song
subliminal.
where these things are dancing around saying, let's go out to the
That's right.
lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go out.
Yeah,
to
that's what they do. Well, he did say that,
Christine.
hypnotist did say that it could be weaponized.
Yes.
And it has been
Has been.
weaponized against our own government has done that to us. Okay? They're all in cahoots. The media, they're all in cahoots.
I'm sure.
You know, there's nobody innocent in that crowd. You know, not at all. Not at all.
Well, we could really. Okay. So anyway,
Change the subject.
You know, yeah, we have portals coming up too. Like the next important one after the spring equinox is the April 4th, the 4/4.
Yeah.
And that works very well for you and I.
That's right.
With the fours, okay? And that is actually a day of stability, 4/4. The 4/4 angel number often represents spiritual support. And 4/4/4, right?
Archangel
Four
Ariel.
fours actually is really important for us, right?
Yes, yes.
It's also an ascended master number.
Yeah. That's right.
So, you know, we get that.
We
Like
just
today.
did a show on Ascended Masters.
We just did a show
on
on
astrology,
Ascended, yeah.
angels, and more. Yeah.
And I sent Mary a picture, 11/11.
Yeah.
Once again, it's another primary thing, and it's angel attunement time.
Yeah.
When you receive that, you receive the attunement of the angels if you recognize who you are.
Well, the 1111 is a very spiritual number. It's also an ascended master number.
Yes, it is.
It has to do with soulmates. It has to do with spirit guides. It has to
Let's
do with
not get
unconditional
into that
love.
again.
It's a very psychic. What spirit?
No, don't even
Twin
say
flames.
it. Oh, don't say it.
Let's not get into
Let
it.
it go. Let it go. Let it go. You know, 1111 is, I really feel the most spiritual number.
I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Because what we're talking about, one is alpha, okay? So, an alpha omega. So you have 4 ones. That really means that God is with you, like
That's exactly what it
quadrupled,
means.
you know, or spirit, okay?
Like when
Depending
you
on
see
what you believe is.
11:11 on the clock, it's 11:11 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, because I always I call on the angels when I see that. I say, hey, angels, how you doing?
Anytime you ever see, like even 555,
Right,
you
and
know,
3
yeah.
or 4 of
The
the
threes
same
are very,
number.
very powerful because of the Trinity. And 333 equals
Yeah.
9.
That's right.
And 9 is the number of completion. That's
Yep.
something
That's right.
ending and something new coming.
Thank you, Chris.
There you go.
Nine is a very important number because, like I said, and people don't realize it. It's known as the number of completion, meaning that you've just released something and something new is coming.
Something new
It's
starts.
a great number.
And we are in the year of completion, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Because, 2025 equals 9.
That's right.
Year of completion. So 2025.
And next year is a new,
Yep.
just so long as the New Year's is in.
So this
April.
basically this is a good year to
You know,
release.
and
This is a
not
good year to
January.
release a lot of your negative.
This is it.
This is your year.
This
Anything
is
that's
it.
bothering you, anything that's been weighing on you heavily, let it go. This is the year to do it.
Really let it go.
Absolutely.
you know?
And that's one of the reasons why you keep on feeling these energy shifts. You know, the other thing is, too, we're in the time of Pisces right now that we're filming the show. We just went into the time of Pisces. And during the time of Pisces, you should really pay attention to your dreams because your dreams are going to guide you. So make sure that maybe you keep a little notepad by your bed, little glass of water for the energy of it, maybe a little amethyst. That also helps
What
with the
about
dream state.
Aquarius? I thought we were in the time of Aquarius.
No, she's talking about
the sun.
We're in the monthly thing of
The astrological sign of Pisces right now.
Oh, I see.
It just began.
Oh, I get it.
And
You
for
know,
the next month.
You mentioned the amethyst, and I couldn't agree more. But I would also add to that moonstone, because
Yes.
that also promotes.
You're right.
Oh, that's the amethyst.
Yeah.
That's
amethyst,
amethyst. Yeah.
we have moonstone.
That's
right?
his
Don't we?
favorite. Yes.
Yeah.
that-
Moonstone is my stone for Cancer.
Moonstone is a beautiful stone.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
psychic stone.
Very psychic.
You know, it's a good stone.
Good to work with the moon with moonstone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. And purity. And it really, yeah, that's true. Especially if you combine that with some selenite, you know.
Well, anything you combine with selenite is charging it, making
Yep.
it, well, the quartz is what amplifies everything. The selenite is what clears it
Clears it.
and
Clears it, yeah.
recharges it. So
But
those
the
are,
quartz is right there by you.
yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
The clear quartz.
Like when you make
there.
moon water, I always tell people put quartz in it because it amplifies it.
Yes, it
But you could
does.
also put some moonstone in there as well because that makes it even more powerful.
I love moonstone.
I love moonstone too. One of my favorite stones.
I have
usually
a
put a little
little
Glenlivet
thing, it's
in
a
there.
tiny little jar. and it
Glenlivet,
puts
you
a
can't go
bunch
wrong
of
with that.
You
moonstone
can't go wrong
chips
with
in
that,
it.
you know. I mean,
That's very nice.
I got a stone, yeah, but I'm getting stoned. You know, so
Oh, okay.
why?
Nothing.
It was only Glenlivet. My God.
We have a new moon coming up on February the 28th, you know, and it's the new moon in Pisces. So that's a very powerful new moon. And this has a lot to do, it's a perfect time for healing, and it's also for spiritual growth. Pisces is the most psychic sign of the universe. And it's a wonderful time to manifest what you want to bring into your life. Don't you agree?
Yeah. You know, I hear people use that term, manifest. They go,
Oh, boy, here we go.
well, okay, you started. You
I
opened
know
up the
I
door.
didn't. That's
Okay.
what people understand, the
People,
word manifest.
manifestation, okay?
Okay.
They do understand that word. You
They-
got to give that to
Thank
them.
you. Thank you, Chris.
It's not even
Somebody's
that- it's not
sticking
even
up for
that-
me.
Listen, manifestation, people like say, I'm doing the law of attraction. Yeah, all right, whistle Dixie. Okay.
But listen, the whole law of attraction, yes, I get it, but you still got to get up and get off your butt and make things happen. You can't
Amen.
just put something out to universe and expect it to happen.
There you go.
All right, that's what people forget about the law of attraction.
You
they
think-
say, "Oh, I want money to come to me." Okay, so what are you going to sit in your house and wait for money to come to you? It's never coming. Get off your butt and go work, and then money's going to come to you. That's how it
That's
works.
right.
Or buy a lottery ticket.
Or do
they want
something.
a dollar in a
there has to
dream.
be an action. You can't just
That's right.
put something out to the universe and expect it to
But it's not
happen.
only that, what people don't understand is that when you want to, the things you fear, I'll go with this way. The things you fear, you attract because you fear it and you're putting concentrated
You're
thought
always thinking about it.
into it.
More
okay?
thought.
Do you remember when you were a kid, you had a history test on Friday, and it was Thursday, and you didn't study any time during the week, and you're going to take this test, and it's 3/4 of your grade, and you say, oh no, I'm going to fail this test. Oh, there goes my thing, and this, that, the other, and you go take it. You could be the smartest kid in the class and bomb that test. That's because you created the failure. All right?
People do
Learn
it
to
every day.
take that concentrated thought and make it a positive thing. And I will tell you this much. If you do concentrate and put a positive thought or something that you want, and like I said before, you should want that for everyone besides you. Okay? God loves a grateful giver. God loves the person who will bless others as well as bless himself. Because by helping somebody, you get blessed too. All right? When you can do that, number one, and you won't harm anything or go across somebody's free will, all right, these things will manifest. You'll get synchronicities will start to happen. as you move towards that goal that you want. Okay? You need to understand that while you're doing this, you have to be pure of heart and pure of thought. You start thinking, I don't really like that person, blah, blah, blah. You blew it. Start again. Start again. Okay?
Absolutely true. You
Because you're
gotta
not going to
start
be
all over
holy, or you're not going to be loving, which you're supposed to be. You're God's creation. You're supposed to be a loving being, a nurturing being.
But you're not going to
Okay.
like everybody you meet.
It doesn't matter if you don't
Doesn't
like
matter,
them.
but you don't
You
have
have
to, but you don't
to-
have to put evil, negative
That was
thoughts
cute.
towards them
That's right.
either. That's
You
what I'm
have
That was
to-
cute, you got to admit.
You have to salute the divinity in all things, in all living things. In this dimension, in this world, in all dimensions, in all universes and everything else. Because they're all created by the one creator, God, the one who made you.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yes, there are people that you are just not going to care about. But you still have to send them love, and you still have to salute that divinity in them, because they are just like you, but of a different mindset.
We're all made of the same stardust.
Okay? If you have somebody you're wishing them ill will, well, guess what? You're going to get it back in spades. What you reap is what you sow.
What if that ill will is coming from the fact that they're trying to do bad things to you?
Don't worry
Then
about it.
then
It's going to
goes back-
boomerang, go
then
right
it-
back to
Then
them.
it goes back to psychic protection.
Yeah.
You could send it back to them, but when you send it back to them, you don't send it back in a negative. You send it back in a positive way. That's pretty much what he's saying. But you, like, if you wish harm on me, I'm going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to send it back to you. But I'm going to send it back to you with love. I'm going to say, okay, you don't like me, that's fine. You think I'm this, that, and the other thing. I wish you well. I send love to you, and go on your way. You don't have to like. I don't have to like you, but I don't have to, be nasty to you either.
That's
By
right.
you doing that, you dissipate the negative
That's
energy.
right.
So the negative energy came to you, but you're sending it back pure, it's dissipated.
Absolutely, and I was talking to Christine about this on the last show, sending it back in a positive, and she's like, and she asked me, well, why would you send it back in a positive if they're trying to hurt you? Why? Because why would spirit want to help you if you're doing just as bad as they are? So send it back with some love. Say I wish you well. Go. I don't want to be your friend, but I wish you well.
Go on your
And
way.
it dissipate, like you said, it does
Yep.
dissipate.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
That's how
it.
that's
Yes,
how it's
it
done.
does.
You get the people in your life that are toxic, all right, especially if you're on this path, for ascension and wanting to excel and in who you are, all right, you got to find people are going to, like, shy away from you. They're going to think you're strange. Cut the cords to them, because they're going to hold you back. See them in front of you. Cut the cords to them. They have a long silver cord that's attached to your heart.
that's
Cut
right.
the cord, watch
Cut the
them
cord.
turn around, send them love, and send them on their way.
You talk about cutting cords. A cord cutting ceremony is so powerful.
Yes,
when
it
it's
is.
done the right way, where you could release yourself from a past trauma. It's unbelievable how you
With inner
immediately feel the
child's
change.
work. That's
It
inner
does.
child.
That's inner
No,
child work, yeah.
really. Not
You're
just
right.
as an adult, but inner child's work. I mean, that's, I've
For
helped
those
a
out
lot of
there
people
that are
with that.
not quite up to par where you are, explain that inner child work. People don't understand that our lives run concurrent. All right. At the same time that I'm standing here in my 7th decade, all right, I'm also here in my 1st decade. I'm also here in my 2nd decade. Okay, we run linear, and we run concurrent. All right, so now explain
There
about
is
the
no
inner child.
space or time. So what you want me to explain is, as a hypnotherapist, as a clinical hypnotherapist, what I do is, if a person comes to me and they're dealing with some sort of trauma from their childhood, I have a lot of psychologists, therapists send their patients to me with a note, and I work with the psychologists. And if they're, in order to regress the person hypnotically. So we do a regression and we go back and we work on the inner child. We go back to the origin of the problem, whether it happened when they were 15 or 4 or 1, or sometimes it's in a previous lifetime. And then we go back to the previous lifetime, but we get to the origin. A lot of phobias. The origin is in a previous lifetime many times.
true.
But what we do is replay. It isn't anything traumatic the person has to go through, because it's
No.
like they're looking at a screen. They see that little girl or little boy up on a screen, and then we can change the whole scenario, you know?
Yes.
And also, when I do my Native American healing, I do a drumming where I go into the heart chakra, and I actually go in there. And many times, what you see is some kind of trauma that had happened to that person as a child. Many times that happens.
It
that
shows
you
up in the
see,
heart chakra?
Yes,
Okay.
in the heart chakra, the chambers of the heart.
I always have.
And you can actually change it, because you can change anything. Nothing is set in stone, just like Tommy said. Everything, he's 1 year old, well, I don't want to say your age.
29.
He's 29 years old.
So I'm going back into my hair.
Because everything is yeah.
So do you find, so I've done quite a few cord cutting ceremonies.
Yeah.
And what I find is, I'm not going to say 100% of the time, but very 90 some odd percent of the time, it is so emotional. I mean, I find
Yes, it is.
They break down, and
release.
as you're doing it with them, you get emotional too, because it's so powerful
attached.
what's going on.
Yeah, but now, Chris, let me ask you. When you're saying that it's so emotional, are you talking about during the period of time when there is a remembrance, or when there is a release?
For me, in my experience, it's been with the release.
Me too.
It's
Thank
been with
you.
the release.
Thank you. Because it really, it isn't like, I'm very much trained in, if a person goes into and really, if they have trauma that they're remembering, how to help them if they have an ab reaction. Do you know I have never had to do that in my practice of over 20 years?
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and that isn't bragging. That's not
No,
my
that's awesome.
ego. It's the practice of the way that you're guided to do it, And you just don't allow a person to actually experience that trauma again. They're removed from it. They're looking at like a movie screen.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Right. But when they finally release it and let it go,
I've heard some blood curdling screams come out of people when
Yep.
they finally release something that has been very traumatic to them, something that's held them back for many years.
Their whole life, right?
Their whole life. And that release is, I'll never forget. I did I don't know if I knew you then. I did a retreat, a 3-day retreat up in the Poconos, up in Pennsylvania one time at a retreat place.
What
And
was that hotel?
No, not Shantley.
it wasn't the Shanley. It
No.
was
Because I was at the Shanley.
Yeah, and it wasn't the Shanley. It was like a retreat. I had 70 people I had people from Asia that came to spend
Oh, I wasn't
that weekend
there.
with me. So I actually did a cord cutting ceremony on this one woman, and the scream that came out of her. If I tell you, it affected every single person that was there. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget how that release, what it was for her.
Spiritual release.
well, really what that's called is a primal scream.
It was a primal scream,
a
absolutely.
primal scream.
It was scary. It was unbelievable.
if you're not prepared for that.
But I'll tell you what, when the next day, and I really feel like it took her a whole day to kind of process what had happened the night before.
Wow.
She was like a whole different person.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like a whole different person.
Yeah.
Got rid of the
Happier.
baggage.
What's that?
Happier?
Happier. She just, you could, so me being a psychic medium, I'm very big on energy and feeling it and seeing it and acknowledging it. And her energy did pretty much a 180 in one night. And it was unbelievable.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Whereas, and this is nothing against any therapists, please, because I have a lot of friends that are therapists, but whereas years of talk therapy does not do what you had done in that ceremony.
Yeah.
Because
What you did.
because they're not, listen, you could talk somebody till you're blue in the face.
Right.
If they're not going to be willing and open to accept it, or are we willing to make a change, okay, It's just like a smoker. If the smoker is not willing to give up cigarettes, then you can hypnotize them 1,000 times.
True.
It ain't gonna work. One thing I would tell you that we were talking about, I didn't want to skip the subject, but you can also do this in dreams. All right, say you have a really bad dream and something's horrible. You can actually get quiet, get into like a meditative sleep, like in between dreamland, and you can change that dream to the outcome you want. And that dream will never affect you. You can change the outcome. All right?
Excellent point.
I agree with you, but the problem with that is I feel like too many people can't remember their dreams enough to change them to the
No,
way
when
they...
people tell me that they had a nightmare, they tell me what the dream was about.
Yeah, or they
Oh, yeah,
have
well, they're-
You know,
repetitive.
I'm just telling you,
Yeah,
I tell them,
that's
say,
good
listen,
advice.
you can, a loss
You
of a
can definitely change it, though.
especially when they tell me things like, I saw this horrible thing, the loss of a child, a
Mm-hmm.
dog, or whatever it was. And I tell them, so go in there and change it. Change it for what you want. I said, what do you want out of this dream? Because I don't want none of that to happen. So go in and change it. None of it happened.
Well, yes, you could change things, and even psychically.
Yeah.
Last night I was driving home. I was with my girlfriend. We were driving home from wherever we were. I don't even remember where we were. And I had this vision of my son getting into a car accident. All right?
Oh, my gosh.
Don't worry about it. I was on it that quick. I call him up right away. He doesn't answer. I didn't know that he was at work. I called my daughter, and I said, listen, I just had a vision. I said, you tell your brother, get home. I don't want him out. I don't want him driving his car. They got in touch with him, and he was fine. He got home, and because he was planning on going out. That would have been a bad choice.
It would have been a bad thing.
And I saw it, and I knew it was I knew what possibly could happen. I didn't know how bad it would be, but I knew something was going to happen.
Exactly, and you
So guess
can't
what?
ignore
so
that.
we changed that.
Yes, you did.
For
Yeah.
that
You
night or
changed that.
forever?
It was
No.
for that night. I felt it that night.
That it would
what you could
happen
do-
that particular.
Right, okay.
What
Yeah.
what you could do, I do it in the morning a lot of times when I'm on the road, there's a lot of traffic, this, that, the other. I'll call on Michael and I'll just tell him, I say, listen, get me to my destination, so I gotta go. Please be sure that I have a parking spot when I get there, that's big enough for my vehicle.
I feel like people don't use
And
Archangel Michael
I just
enough.
preset it.
I feel like people don't use them enough. I feel like people don't use Archangel Raphael enough.
They don't
He's
And they
use,
need
around
to.
my neck.
they don't use angels, period.
And they should.
They
You
were
don't realize it.
created. They were created to help you navigate through this lifetime.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And through every lifetime that you've been in, they were created to help you. They're God's way of sending a travel agent guide to take you to where you have to go to your
Yeah,
destination.
It's their job.
It's their job. It's right.
When my friends go on vacation, they call me up and like, Chris, please put a bubble around me. I tell them, you could do it yourself.
That's right.
But I'll do it for you. And I have this picture of a bubble. What I do is I put their face in it or I put their name in it
Mm-hmm.
and I send it to them and I call on Archangel Michael. I say, please get them to where
That's it.
where they need to
he
be.
has-
And Archangel Raphael, please keep them safe and healthy. And I put them in a bubble.
He has done so many things for me, avoiding incidents.
That's their job.
Avoiding
That's
incidents.
it. Yeah,
right?
that's the whole
You
thing.
know,
Let them do their job,
That's
right?
right.
Let 'em earn their
I
money.
was telling Mary, I was having a little truck trouble, and I was about 2 blocks from my house in truck stalls, and it won't start. I'm 2 blocks from my house. I don't want to call a tow truck because I don't want to go for like $200 to go 2 blocks.
Right,
That's Uber plus.
right.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there. Well, it was. I'm sitting there, so I get quiet, sit in the truck, and I just start calling on Michael, come and help me. All right, I said, Michael, please let this truck start. I'll take it home, and tomorrow I promise I'll take it straight to the mechanic. Boom, starts right up.
I remember
I
that.
drive the 2 blocks. I was talking to you.
I
drove
know.
the 2 blocks. I get over, I park the truck. I get out, go in the house.
died.
No, I went. I had dinner. I went to bed. And everything else like that. Everything was fine. The next morning, I go outside, fully expecting it. Boom, started right up. Okay, I drove it straight to the mechanic. When I got it there, he calls me up later. He says, I have no idea how this truck got here. he goes, the truck shouldn't run. Okay, but it did.
We knew how.
I know who did it.
Yeah, people don't use the archangels to their advantage, and
Even
and
the
I
reg-
always
even-
say it is their job. They want to help.
Yes,
Even
they
the
do.
regular
I
angels.
actually had Gabriel come to me in a dream.
Yeah, you told me about
Remember?
that. What was that about? A couple of months ago, right?
Oh, longer
Really?
than that. Yep.
I had,
Longer
I
than
had,
that.
yeah.
Just to give me
It's
some
beautiful.
information.
Beautiful.
Well, he's a messenger, so.
Yeah.
yeah, he's the messenger,
Do you
that's
remember?
for sure.
I had a dream, and I was out in this big, beautiful, like valley, and a former person who used to be with me on another show. She was with me. She had to get a fur coat that was promised to her because the person supposedly passed away and gifted it to her. So we get to this giant house. It had to be somewhere like in California because the houses, the mountain ranges, it was just gorgeous where we were. All right? The garage door was open. I'm sitting outside of the vehicle and I'm leaning up against the vehicle and she goes in. All of a sudden I see something in the garage and I go forth and the next thing I know, I'm in a battle. I got my Excalibur sword and I'm fighting this thing and it was big and it was black. It was like a dragon. I'm just fighting with this thing. And, you know, after a while, I defeated it, and I was banged up pretty good. I came back to the truck, and she starts walking back out, and this thing comes back, it's coming at us, both of us now. And all of a sudden, a giant hand went right in front of us like this, and it said, close your eyes, and it was like a nuclear blast. You couldn't see, it was just bright white. That thing was gone. The valley was like, it looked like it had little ice pellets that
Like
were
specks.
shining all over the place. It was sanitized. That thing sanitized the whole area where we were. It was just something, that's what Michael does. It was Michael who protected us.
That was Michael.
That was
Yeah,
Michael,
you were-
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Especially when and then he said something from a book that I have read. And he said, I have weapons you have not even seen.
Yeah, his weapons are the carry-on angels. Have you ever heard of the carry-on angels?
Yeah.
No.
The carry-on angels are basically Archangel Michael's
Legions.
army.
His legion.
His legion.
Yeah.
So when it's a battle, when it's something really, something big, he sends the carry-on angels. Carrion. You guys can look it up.
Carrion.
The carrion angels. They go in. They take care of. They do his dirty work basically. And that's probably who came to help.
Oh, yeah.
With what you were talking about.
But I tell you, the feeling of clarity
Peace.
and serenity after that happened, and I know who I walk with. So I knew right off the bat. But I tell you, that was an awesome experience. That was real. That wasn't a dream. That was real. Perhaps in another dimension.
Maybe.
Perhaps on the other side, because I go out there and battle all the time. And I would recommend to any of you to do the spiritual work that in the morning when you do awaken from your sleep, make sure you ask God to remove the battle damage, because you do carry battle damages. Sometimes you have marks on you, sometimes you have scratches on you, sometimes you
Yeah.
have pains in places you don't usually get pains.
That's right. Remember, we used to compare notes about that.
Yeah.
And, it literally, you should get up. Don't just lay in your bed. Like if you wake up from something like that, you get up immediately and you walk around. You literally walk it off.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. You just
Okay.
you gotta be prepared. You gotta be
Yeah.
prepared.
I don't want to scare people.
You're not scaring them.
Knowledge is power.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's what I like when I had my radio show. What I loved the most about it, I had a big show for 10 years with over 2 million listeners. And my favorite part of the show was being able to talk about things that you really don't talk about in public, because then you're weird and you're crazy and you're not like everybody else. But it was a forum to where you could talk about this stuff, and people could feel safe to talk about these things
That's
that most
right.
people don't talk about. Now,
right.
you're basically giving people knowledge, which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's why we do what we do.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but I just don't, people that are not yet in the audience, not yet at a level of understanding of that, I don't want them to feel like they're going to be attacked or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. No,
You know what I
no.
mean? It's just, like Tommy and I talk about that a lot because we've compared notes a lot because literally, we are warriors.
Yeah.
We are warriors,
Yes,
spiritual
we are.
warriors.
That's right.
That's what we all are sitting at this
We're
table.
all on the same side.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of
Sure
us
are.
out
So
there.
I know you guys have had Stephen Popietek on your
Yeah,
show. Very dear
yeah.
friend of mine. So he does
love
something
him.
called warrior work, where
he does.
where he gets together with people like us, and I've done it with him many times. And we do a meditation to heal the world and to protect the people who need to be protected, who are taking care of the world, that type of stuff.
He travels all over the place trying to, close
Yes, he
portholes
does.
and
He's been to
all
Egypt.
these-
He's been all over the world.
All over the world,
But
yes.
but he does that warrior work, and it's pretty intense. It's
Very intense. He's been on
He's been on
our
a few
show, and
times,
he's
yeah.
been on
My show?
your show,
Absolutely. He
and
was on
on
my show?
Astrology, Angels, and more. He's a very unique person.
Very,
He's
very,
very good, yeah.
very,
Yeah, very unique.
focused on what it is he does. I mean, like a laser beam.
Yeah.
He's focused right on. And the thing that this man, I say it all the time. but the
Highly
thing-
informed.
Yes, the thing that this man
He
can
knows things
do.
he's not supposed to know.
That's right.
I
He
know,
does.
that's
does.
what
Why
I
would he
mean.
not supposed to know?
No, he knows things that people are not supposed to know. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Um,
Black ops.
Listen, I've been with this man after doing warrior work, okay, where there was maybe 15 of us in his apartment. Everyone leaves. It was me, him, and some other guy named Mike. And I had never smoked a hookah before. Never. So we were smoking a hookah, and hand to God, I will never ever forget this. Knock at the door. I know I know everyone's gonna think I'm crazy, but if you ever seen Steven on this show, maybe you won't think I'm crazy. Two men in black
Yeah.
Whoa.
come to his door, and he'll tell you if you.
No,
next
I
time-
just had this
and
conversation with him.
He's like, they're like, we need to talk, and he's just like, okay. They go in the room, the three of them, leave me and Mike outside. I'm like, what the frig is happening here? They walk out, don't say a word, boom, gone, and Steven comes out. You know how Steven, he just starts laughing. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to know. That's crazy stuff.
Didn't tell
He
you what
knows
happened?
things but
Listen.
He knows things people are not supposed to know. He's
He's
unbelievable.
had run-ins with black ops. plenty of
Yes, he
times.
has.
He knows a lot of things. One day we were having him on the show and we were having a conversation, and I had mentioned something and got attacked for it. Okay, and I mentioned that all along the 39th parallel, okay, is where they see most of the UFO activity, and it's where we have most of underground stuff and nuclear stuff.
There's a lot of underground
Yeah.
stuff that people don't know
And
about.
I said that. And all of a sudden, the following day, as you could tell, I couldn't move my knee. I couldn't straighten it out. I mean, I bend it rather. All right. I was walking like I had a wood peg
Right.
leg.
Yeah.
And he was coming back. He was coming on the show, and I told him about it. And he did a healing on it. He's doing all those little things, shaking things, and whistling, and all these other things, right? But
He does odd things. I don't understand what he does. I'm going to be honest with you.
well,
I don't.
energy.
he connects to the energy using the little stone
Yeah.
or a little thing that he has, and he clears himself with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I know what he's doing when he's doing it and stuff, but it's the process that works for him
Right.
to get the best healing result.
And
he
he
got
did.
me to bend my knee. Now my knee was still hurting me and clicking, but it wasn't the way it was. I was functional.
That's good.
And he says to me, he goes, this originated in Kansas. Guess where? Right along that parallel. Okay, so
And then he laughed.
But he always laughs.
He always does.
Always laughs.
I
well, I
love
call him
him.
Jesus when he comes
Yeah.
on. You ever see
Well, he
him?
looks like Jesus.
I call him Jesus all the time.
He's an interesting guy. He looks like Jesus. He has a harem. I mean, he has women that just they follow like he's like a cult leader. It's hysterical. Yeah.
He's
call him
he's
that.
got one in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got what in the Philippines?
a lady.
Oh, he does.
Yep.
Oh, good for him.
He gets around.
Told me all about last time he came on the show.
He's a good man. He's a
Well,
good man.
he was
is.
there
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
he is.
Philippines for a while. I saw some beautiful pictures.
Yeah, he was.
When my dad passed, he was actually at the retreat with me. He was doing the retreat when we had all those people that came from
I
all
was
over.
there.
You were there?
I was there upstate,
No, in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania,
at the retreat.
wherever. And I never know where we
You had
are.
to sleep in those like dormitory type
Yes.
things. Oh, so he was there with me.
I don't remember him being there, but I was
He
there.
was- he did
I
the
was there
morning-
when you got the news that your father
Well,
passed.
Stephen was there. He did it with me. He did the morning meditation when my father came to me in spirit and said, "I'm gone, Chris." I was like,
Wow.
You know,
Wow,
yeah.
honey.
It's
I'm
a crazy-
sorry.
it's a story.
At least he got to come back.
but he
and
was
tell
with
you.
me. Yeah, he did. He came, And I was like, "You're gone." He says, "I'm gone." And then my phone rang. It was my brother.
And your father was very young, too. He was 68, I believe.
My dad was 68 years old. He was about to be 69.
Yeah.
My brother called me, and I said, before he said anything, I said, "I know Dad's gone." He goes, "How do you know?" I said, "Because she's standing here with me right now." And
I
I
think
said,
I remember you saying that.
"Yep." And I told him, I said, "I'm coming home." And he says, "No, you are not." He said, "This is what Dad wanted for you. He wanted you to get the recognition that you deserve. You're getting it." He says, "I will take care of everything. Dad'll be here when you get home." And it was Sunday. So, he died on Saturday. I went home on
And
Sunday.
you decided to finish the retreat.
And people have told me over the years that's the best they've ever seen me. I taught a psychic development class. I taught a class on psychometry. I did a healing circle. I did a seance. And I did something else. I did one other thing. I just don't remember what the hell it was. And
Did you part the Red Sea?
I didn't part the Red Sea.
Okay.
But
I just
people
thought,
have
yeah.
told me that that's the most psychic they've ever seen me be. It was the day my father died.
Yeah, you were
And I told my dad, I
very
said, "Dad,"
focused.
I was so focused. And my father had a saying, "Be great. You're great. Be great." He used to tell me that all the time. When I played baseball, when
yeah.
I played football, and psychically. And I said, "Dad," how am I going to be great? He says, "Because you are. And I'm going to be here with you all day." He says, "You're going to be great today." And I'd be damned if my father wasn't right next to me with everything I did that day. And
That's beautiful, Chris.
it was
That's
unbelievable.
absolutely beautiful.
That's a really good experience.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, it's recognition from your father, from the other side of what it is you do.
His father was a very nice man, I remember.
You know what was interesting about that? So Stephen was doing that morning meditation, and I should have been in that meditation with him, But I just felt like, you know what? That's his moment. I need to focus myself because the rest of the day is about me. It's about me. He did one lecture on conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but everything else was me. And I went off to the side to focus myself, and bam, my father showed up immediately. I was like, "Oh my God, he's gone." So it was
Yeah, I
an
know, you
interesting,
knew it
it was an
right
interesting
away.
day.
Yeah.
They come and say goodbye.
No, he did. He certainly did.
Well, what that does to you is that absolutely validates, was the word I was looking for before.
It does
It
validate.
validates what it is we do, you do, and how it works. We all do things, we do things that are alike, and we do things that are different, but it's whatever really works for you.
Right.
Right.
And, it goes back to what I said earlier, making it your own.
Yeah.
Like when I do like a healing on somebody, I'm sure you do different than me, and I'm sure you do.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we all have our own little things, but you got to make it your own. Like I feel like I created my own modality. I use channeled healing, I use crystal healing, I use sound therapy, and I use aromatherapy all together when I do healing. It's my own thing. I made it my own, and I'm sure you do yours
So
your
do
way,
I.
and it's your way. And
Yeah.
doesn't make it any better, any worse. It's how you created it.
That's the main thing that I teach my students, that, I'm teaching you, but when you go and you do this yourself, for yourself, you know that you're going to have your own way of doing it. And
That's
don't
right.
second guess yourself and think that it's wrong, because it's from you,
yeah.
from your heart, from
That's right.
your, yeah.
You know what? So when I teach my class, a lot of times, like when I'm done with something, I'll give 3 snaps. It's just my thing. I've been doing it my whole life. I don't know why. I just do it. It feels good for me. And now I find my students are doing that too. I tell them, you don't have to do it. It works for me.
No, but it's a nice
But
way to
if
clear
it
the
works for you,
energy.
then do it.
That was the Wayans brothers goes, I give that 2 snaps.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do the Z. I go like this,
Two
this, and
snaps.
this. And I've been doing it for 20 years. It works for me.
When I clear things a lot of times.
That's how I clear.
When I clear a lot of times, I'll snap
Yeah.
the fingers. Or if I do a countdown. I'll
For
snap
me,
the
it's the
fingers.
end of something. It's like 9, the number of completion, something's over, and then the new energy comes. So I've done it my whole life, and I find my students are doing it too.
Salt,
Yeah.
pepper, and a shaker. What? We got trees minutes? She's still doing it. She's not even behind the camera. She's telling me trees. We got 3, Brian? Thank you. Okay. We got this many minutes. Okay. Let me tell you, it's been fun tonight. I like having open forums because
Yeah.
the subject bounces all over the place.
It's always fun with you guys.
It's always fun. And, we get on the subjects that were meant to this, guided by spirit. And this is where this show was.
I have to say, I enjoy coming on the show. The two of you are absolutely fantastic. I can never say enough about
Thank
you
you.
guys. You're awesome, and I love doing the show with you, and I appreciate when you guys ask me.
What about her?
Well, I've been on her show many times. We've never, ever once had a show that wasn't fantastic.
That's right.
Ever.
That's
Ever.
right. That's right.
Even if she
And
should say so
tonight's
herself.
show
listen,
was good,
I'm-
and so everybody watch both these shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to get, when you used to invite me on the show, it was a little bit different, okay? Now that Mary is your co-host, and I'm not afraid to say it, I absolutely adore her, and I love coming on
Love
your
you
show,
too.
so thank you so much.
love
Anytime you guys
having
need
you.
me, if I could be here, I will.
All right.
And when you start your show, you let us know. We'll be here to help you.
Yes, I will be starting
right.
my show, Vision Quest, hopefully soon.
Before the
I
summer.
like the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Nice.
See, I was going to suggest another name that I was
What?
going to, once upon a time, I was going to do. And it was going to be called Into the Night.
That's a good one.
All right.
That's
so
a good
that,
one.
that was a name that I was considering when I wound up, didn't know what to do. And then I said to her, it clicked. I said, wait a minute. We have a podcast, and it's already had the music and everything else, so why not? So now we have the trifecta.
Yes, the trifecta.
Okay,
The
we
lucky
have this show,
trifecta.
the TV show. We have a podcast, and we also have a brick and mortar business in New Jersey. So
1 minute.
by the same name. We have 1 minute left.
1
So let's say
minute.
goodnight. I'd like to thank our guests, Christine Schiavone, Spiritual Exploration, and Christopher George. And what's the name of your new show when it comes up?
It will
Vision
be called
Quest.
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest. There you
And
go.
watch for
Looking
these
forward
two
to
it.
shows on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, you can look me up on YouTube and look for Vision Quest. There's like 6 shows that I've done already from Long Island, but I'm going to be bringing it here now for some new shows.
All right. So let's wave to everybody out there in TV land. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Music,
night.
Maestro.
Thank you for watching.